Let's talk about the young people today for a minute, because you mentioned young blood. So, young people today, what would you tell them about going in the military?
Well, first of all, I speak to a lot of schools, classes, churches. Anytime anyone wants to talk about freedom, how it was won, I'm ready to talk about our freedom and how it was won. The young people today in school are highly intelligent. They're smart. They ask good questions. However, they don't know much about history. But they're hungry and thirsty for history. When we're invited to the classroom, we just sit with their ear and they ask good questions. So this is what I share with them. I have about 6 points I share with the young people. And it's good for we older people too. First of all, stay in school. And I'll tell us that you're in school, our life is full of decisions, but every decision has a consequence. Staying in school is a very good consequence. Next, someone is feeding and clothing you. Someone is paying for your activities, whomever they are, your blood parents, adopted parents, grandparents. Do your part in this family. Do your part, because that's what has made America is a closely knit family unit, each working together. Next is take care of your body. If someone comes up and says, here, this will make you feel better, that's a poor decision. Or someone says, let me put this in your Coke, it'll make you feel better. Tell them like I did, I already feel good. No, I could tell many stories about the ones who participated in blindfolding, taking a pill out of a bowl that was passed around. Comatose 2 years, so terrible. Very, very bad decisions. And the next, while you're in school, take leadership opportunities. If someone offers you to be the captain of the football team, take it. Or treasurer of the sewing club, take it. Develop your leadership skills, because our country always needs good leaders. And next, when you have succeeded, while you're in school, choose a profession that you like. For example, I had a brother who chose the ministry. Wonderful. They asked me at the age of 15, Bobby, what are you going to do? I said, well, I don't know exactly. I was going to be working with youth, which I did. Choose something you like. Too many times I've heard people say, maybe at church Sunday, I hate tomorrow. Why? It's a new day. Oh, I don't like my job. You don't like your job? How long have you worked at this job? Maybe 10, 15 years. You mean you spent that much time doing something you do not like? So I explained to them, get into something that you like. It doesn't feel like work. Like in scouting, the weekends at camp or the bulldozers in the lake, doesn't seem like work. Mm-hmm. It's pleasurable. And then, when you are in your workaday world, be active in your community. VOTE, vote. Lead the campaign to get votes out. Doesn't make any difference who it's for. Some people say, well, my little vote doesn't count. Oh, yes, it does. There's all kinds of examples where one vote did it. Because why in our country we have the freedom to go to church day after tomorrow? Better not go. November the 2nd, we may vote. Better not vote. Freedom. It's not like in some of these dictatorial countries where, yeah, you vote, but there's a barrel pointing right down at your face. Freedom, freedom. Lastly, but most importantly, as you hike this trail through youth to adulthood, you'll need a spiritual advisor. There'll be times when there'll be obstacles that you think you'll never be able to
Prevail over.
you just feel lost. So, whom do you get? Well, there's people you confide in. For example, your pastor, your priest, your Sunday school teacher, your rabbi, a coach, someone you have come, because they had obstacles just like you have had right now. But with their help and advice and hard work and sweat, you can overcome them. So those are the 6 points that I share with young people, and they're good for adults too. So as we hike through this trail from youth to adulthood, and I mentioned, if you keep this, do this, to the best of your ability, all the others doing the same thing, that can keep us out of war, and we can live peacefully with everybody.
That's very well said, Mr. Justice. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Yes, sir?
Considering those 6 points that you just made in your comments about America's youth, sometimes young people are afraid about making mistakes. They don't think you can make mistakes. Thinking back on your life, it's been very successful, but I'm sure you can tell us that it's possible
Yes.
to make mistakes, right? And sometimes you need to make
Yes.
mistakes.
And I have mentioned that to them in their question and answer. Like I say, they ask good questions. I'll never forget when I was taking my tenderfoot test in 1938 up in West Virginia. We had to tie 9 knots. That was one of the requirements. And one of them was a square knot. Well, we tenderfoots were round up right around the scoutmaster. He'd call out a certain knot, sheep shank, so we'd tie it and throw it down. He called out the square knot. So as soon as it hit the floor, I saw it was a granny. It looked like it, but it wasn't. My heart went down to my tummy. That scoutmaster put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Bobby, I know you can do it. Try again." And I did. And I've always shared with everybody second chances. As I was watching the funeral of our great statesman in World War II, veteran and hero Bob Dole today, and his daughter talked about how she made a lot of mistakes as a teenager, but how he helped her, didn't put her down, but lifted her up. So we could learn and grow through our mistakes.
Yeah.
But always be prepared to give a second chance.
Very well said. Thank you very much for being part of this today. We appreciate
Pleasure.
your service to the country.
My pleasure.